What up? What up? Good morning. Good morning, GMGM. Thursday, Moonvember 14th, 2024. Look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. I got my co-host in the house, Tyler. Good morning. How you doing today? Oh, you're muted. I can't hear you.
Check. We got that fixed.
There we go. He's got the Bulls hat on. Hell yeah.
I'm good. I was feeling extra bullish this morning. I've been waking up earlier and earlier. I was up at 4:30 Central. And at 4:30 a.m. Central, all of the prices were much higher than they are right now. So it seems like people have been waking up and selling for the last few hours, but I think they might regret that.
I think they might regret that too. I mean, so far, every single dip that was the dip. Like every single dip's been eaten up. There's like an insane amount of volume going to the majors, right? It's actually impressive, the bid on Bitcoin and Solana these days. I mean, the Bitcoin volume is just ridiculous. It's an insane, like infinite bid. It seems not so infinite this morning, but you know, listen. I think we're in a good place, and we'll talk about that today on the show. Today as usual, market report. Let's see where we're at. Bitcoin took a huge dump, 2%. Panic, everyone. You know what I mean? It's like 2%. No, we're sub 90. No. Oh wait, we're at 89.2 thousand United States dollars for one Bitcoin. Like we're the price is so high, we're gonna have to talk in sats soon, bro. You know what I mean? Oh my god. Listen, don't talk to me about no tops anyways until this morning Dogecoin in top 10, but I'm sure we'll talk about that. So market report, Tyler's top 100,000 because I know he's got 100,000 things to talk about today again. So we'll probably wrap up the market in that as well again today. And then we'll be joined actually by a guest today. Today's show partner is Sui Network and Walrus. So Walrus, someone from the team is going to be coming to talk about us. To us about what they've been building over there. Actually, one of our partnerships on the Decrypt side with Walrus, which is super cool. And as you all know, Sui has been absolutely fucking cooking. So George Danezis, of the co-founder, chief scientist at Miston Labs. So that's pretty big. So we'll be excited to talk about what they're up to because they've definitely been one of the main narratives this cycle so far. Looks like they're going to continue to be. And then last but not least, Rollbit loot box spin at the end of the show. So we'll be picking the lucky winner in the audience, and you'll come on stage and you're going to make some money. So you'll go to rafflebot.xyz. There is going to be a code sometime the show, usually about halfway in, and you can enter and you get one chance to come and spin the wheel and make some money. Last but not least, the show is powered by Galaxis. With seamless built-in monetization tools, Galaxis enables the development of sustainable long-term communities, fulfilling Bitcoin's vision of decentralized freedom and independence from centralized control. And with that, Tyler, let's see what you got for us today.
For daily NFT and crypto analysis, Tyler D on FOMO hour calls the kid can't miss.
Ready to batch some bears. Our top story, folks, Coinbase and Robinhood list Pepe. Surprise listing. It soars to $10 billion in market cap. It flipped Doge in trading volume on the day. Over $20 billion traded on Pepe. Coinbase also surprise listed WIF on the day. It led to a broader explosion in memes. We'll talk about that more in a bit. This came after Bitcoin briefly hit 93,000. I think it hit 93,000 during our show yesterday. Another new all-time high. It has since dipped to about 89K here before the show went live. In other news, Senator John Thune was elected to serve as the Senate Majority Leader. This is important because Thune is considered pro-crypto, has backed crypto bills in the past, and is expected to help drive crypto regulatory change. So that's a big one. On the other side, Polymarket facing a Department of Justice probe into their U.S. users right now, which resulted in a raid on founder Shane Copeland's home, and they confiscated his phone. So a negative headline there. In other news, IBIT saw $5 billion in trading volume on the day. The ETFs continue to pick up speed. Bitwise acquired a Testnet, a non-custodial Ethereum staking provider. They've got $4 billion in staked assets. Meanwhile, Bitwise's chief investment officer, Matt Hogan, believes Bitcoin can run up to 500K. Another sentiment shared by Mike Novogratz on CNBC yesterday. So we're seeing those targets out there. And then NFL player Odell Beckham Jr., OBJ, he taunted the anti-crypto crowd yesterday, boasting about taking his NFL salary in Bitcoin and sharing the chart. So I thought that was a fun one. In protocol news, Moonpay announced a new Moonpay balance feature, which allows users to buy crypto instantly, hold fiat in their Moonpay wallets effectively. With zero fees. So big news from Moonpay. Pump Fund has created over $4 billion in meme coin market cap via its top performers in just the past 2 months.
Wow.
Fund creating some massive wealth. BlackRock launched its BUIDL stablecoin on several EVM chains yesterday, including Arbitrum, Avalanche, Optimism, and Polygon. We saw Parallel start doing mobile testing this week for its upcoming game launch. And then Zero Gravity Labs announced a huge raise, $40 million, to develop a decentralized AI operating system. It's called DAIOS, adding to their $35 million already raised. So some big money in Zero Gravity Labs. In meme and NFT news, meme coin majors were very green this morning, maybe coming down a bit. Pepe was up 60%, WIF was up 30%, several up double digits. We saw Elon praising Doge's flat inflation rate as a feature, not a bug. So Elon's actively talking about Dogecoin at this point.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow. We've got a new Elon list of memes. Sammy put out the index.
Let's go.
I put together a watch list as well. Its leader, Peanut, hit 2.2 billion. Banana and Shrub were also big winners on the day. The AI memes soared overnight. Goat hit $1 billion again. It pulled back. Act in 700 million range. Shagath and Zero Bro were also huge movers. This OBOT token and the eagle emoji were two of the biggest winners I saw on the day. They're up 35,000%. So every day we're seeing these massive winners now. And it just doesn't stop. So I'm sure we'll take a look at the board. In NFT news, the CryptoPunk forward is grinding up, folks. It's up another 12%, 33 ETH. It's $105,000 on the back of a big $1 million sweep from Wintermute yesterday. Otherwise, Zero-born NFTs tied to the Zero Bro meme on Solana. That was the leader on Sol. It jumped 90% to a 3.24 Sol. And then breaking news this morning, McDonald's and Doodles. We've got the information on the collab. It's starting with some Doodles themed McCafe holiday cups, but it's going much deeper into studio experiences, a new album, some digital wearables, and a lot more. So huge news out of Doodles.
Jesus Christ, dude. That is a lot going on all fronts. Meme coins, this, that. So you absolutely love to see that. Love that. Okay, lots to talk about. Let's start with the market as usual, as we always do. So Bitcoin, yes, you're right. Yesterday, new highs, $93,000. Though even $83,000 Bitcoin sounds nice, but not here. That will have everybody freaking out. Definitely. Could you imagine if we go to like 83K? It's like, oh my God, no, it's over. Oh my God. So look at this. I mean, Tyler, this is some like every single dip. It's like, you know how you were talking about meme coins right now? Like saying like, oh, like they like, there's like everything was hot, but like you have so many chances of buying the same memes over and over again. You could technically intraday trade these, most of the top memes, and like make a good return, like 20-30%, I find. But anyways, Bitcoin, 89.5, little bounce, but looks like it's being bid up to 90K again.
Yeah, I don't have the read on this right now. So like in the back of my mind, I still have the Kobe tweet where he said 80 to 100K is the tough road, and then
I think this is it happening, right?
So in my mind, like I'm not gonna be surprised if we chop, over the next month and a half, and we get into the 90s, closer to 100K by Christmas time. Maybe buy Bitcoin for Christmas. As of yesterday morning, it looked like we were just gonna speed run to 100, right?
Yeah. We got humbled real quick there,
which also wouldn't surprise me. So none of the outcomes here would surprise me. I just think just the potential that the U.S. could be buying Bitcoin for strategic Bitcoin reserve is enough that you have to buy any dip. I think if you're on the sidelines or waiting for an entry. Very interestingly, I sent you the tweet from Nate Gerasi. He just shared this a few minutes ahead of our show. He says his hot take is he thinks Vanguard is going to capitulate in and include the ETFs on for their users and investors, which I think they are like the lone major asset manager who has blocked crypto so far. Like I personally, my 401k is in Vanguard, so I don't have access to any crypto products. And I can tell you right now, like the second that goes live, I would.
That's why, because I was like, well, aren't you meant to front run that move? Well, you can't, even if you wanted to, because they've blocked every single like ETF, right? Like you can't buy it at all.
Yeah, there's no way you can.
Also, crypto stocks, right?
I haven't like dug into all of that. I'm assuming those are probably blocked as well.
I'm pretty sure it was a thing where they had blocked like MicroStrategy and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
if I'm mistaken. If I recall, I'm not. This info may not be right or not, but if I recall, there was also something on that front that was shared. Yeah, Nick Gerasi said. I mean, let's pull up the tweet here. It's a pretty big prediction. Nick Gerasi, out of all of the ETF folks, like he's been kind of like the most like on point, I find. When he makes calls and stuff, like he's very calculated, right? So let's find it. Hold on. Where did you? It was
unless it was from this morning. There it is. Yeah.
There it is. Yeah. So there it is. Prediction: Vanguard capitulates and allows spot BTC and ETH ETF access on their brokerage platform. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, what do you guys think in the audience? Yes, no, comment below, or if you're on the spaces, thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you think that, you know, there's gonna be a Vanguard, you know, ETF? What do you think, Tyler? I like the prediction.
Also, they're changing CEOs, and I mean,
but the CEO wasn't too pro, right?
Yeah, I'd have to look back at it, but I guess at this point, like, how do you justify to your board, to your shareholders, like that you're going to block this when everyone else is allowing it, and you see just the massive volumes, you see the massive fees? Like, what's your rationale if you're Vanguard? Like, it's pretty hard to come up with one for me, especially with the United States starting to form a Bitcoin strategic reserve potentially on the horizon. So I don't know. I feel like the case to block it feels much weaker than the case to just allow it and let investors choose what they want to do. Right. And I think, again, the impact of this is just the infinite swap. And I think we started talking about this like a year ago, right? But that's the big unlock for these ETFs, is that when people are making their monthly deposits or biweekly deposits into their 401ks, they're going to start allocating 3 to 5% or 10% or whatever the number is every other week, every month into their 401ks. And it's literally going to be an infinite bid on these. And it's hard to price that in.
Yeah. I think at some point, like, I think this is the type of thing that gets so big that if they ignore it, I feel slowly people are going to get away from them. Like, I feel like you already have all these, like, imagine all the people that in their 401ks, like you have your 401k with them, you said, right? So I'm assuming a lot of people do as well. Aren't they the biggest? They're the biggest, right? Asset manager.
They're huge. I'd have to look at the rankings, but
yeah, rankings of top asset managers. But I'm assuming at some point people will be like, yo, like, I'm trying to buy this Bitcoin thing that I keep seeing on TV. You guys won't let me. Like, you know, they're going to look at Fidelity, or they're going to look at, exactly. Like, people are saying like Vanguard's going to, lose customers. So BlackRock is number one. I don't know how big is Vanguard though. Vanguard is like a really important one, no?
They're huge. I'll have to pull up the,
like, where do you, I'm trying to see, I can't find them in the top asset managers because I guess they don't count. I don't know. Interesting. Oh, Vanguard's number 2 after BlackRock. Yeah.
8 trillion under management. That was in 2022. So certainly more than that now.
Yeah. So this was, I don't know when this is from, but that's, it looks like Vanguard was number 2 here. So you're looking at BlackRock followed by Vanguard, Fidelity, Capital Group, and Mundi Investco, etc. So Vanguard's big because they're big in NA, right? Like, they're big in the US. Like, it's a large portion. I think this is the type of thing that will like really bring a lot of traffic to it. Yeah, Fidelity is already in. So Fidelity has actually been max bidding Ethereum on that point. It doesn't reflect the price action, it seems. But Fidelity actually bought another $100 million worth of Ethereum yesterday, Tyler. Let's go look at our inflows actually while we're at it, since we're going to talk about the market here quickly. But Ethereum inflows, so Bitcoin inflows yesterday. We're $510 million into the ETF, so good day. Mostly led by FBTC, so I'm pretty sure that's Fidelity and IBID 230. So Fidelity and BlackRock putting the work here. And Ethereum was actually a $115 million day. It was bigger than the 12th than the day before that, with 100 mil from Fidelity. So Fidelity was really like the big buyer of Bitcoin yesterday. BlackRock coming in at 35 million. So what does Fidelity know?
Fidelity likes ETH. That's a fact. So why is the number not going up?
This is a good question that I asked myself yesterday, because also Franklin Templeton likes Ethereum even more. There was CoinDesk reported this morning that Franklin Templeton expands $410 million money market fund to Ethereum blockchain. So it's like catalyst on catalyst. Funny enough, Tyler, I have a tweet out of all tweets that went viral yesterday. And now, let me show you. You've probably seen it, but I tweeted like a madman yesterday. So now, what's going on is that people think that I'm Ethereum maxi and that all my money's in ETH. So I get all these messages like, you missed the pump. No, motherfucker. I sold all of my ETH for Solana last year in November. Actually, I closed every single Solana ETH long yesterday in 3200s because I was tired of holding it. So I actually have 0 ETH besides Pepe and Mog, because that's what ETH is used for. But I was long ETH. That's why I was tweeting that. So I said, genuinely don't understand how ETH is not trading above 3,500 here, and starting to feel like I'm wrong, but I refuse to be wrong. 200,000 views on this, Tyler. I didn't expect, and you should see all the fucking quote tweets on that. Like, oh, Ethereum maxi coping, like this type of stuff. Oh my God. So why is it not pumping, Tyler?
Yeah, I wish I had the answer. I think the primary bull case that we've had the last week for ETH is that it was the catch-up trade. The ETF inflows were coming in. We're seeing the inflows. It's not being reflected in the price. I still think that thesis makes some sense, but I see Darren out there listening. He's one of the higher signal folks I follow, and he posted an interesting tweet the other day. He actually said, what if the ETH all-time high is in already? Like, we never get back. ETH never sets an all-time high. Are you prepared for that scenario?
I think Darren called for the top of the cycle like 6 months ago.
Yeah, he nailed the top. He sold all his runes at the top while I was arguing with him that it was just a local top.
I don't know. I
80%.
I don't know. It's hard for me to agree with that, even though I don't have it like that. I'm not, big in the ETH ecosystem, but ETH is definitely trading low here. I think one of the good takes on the best takes that I've heard on that front was that ETH always goes second. So it's always like a Bitcoin led, like the beginning of a cycle, and then ETH goes. So if you remember last cycle, ETH actually aggressively repriced from the few $100s. I think it was $800 to $4,800. So it always like, so that's what this is what I picked up from the tweet going viral, Tyler. Education. So if you want the answer to that question, I guess I kind of like outsourced the question and got our answers in that front. Hold on. Yeah. Go to Shiny request. This is a rare one. Let me just figure this one out. Let me just ask Go Shiny here. What up, Shiny? Hello? Can you hear me? Nope. Check. Check. Let me text him. Does it work? Let me just text him. All right. I'll remove you, Shiny, and then just try again. Of course. Yeah, he goes, of course. But yeah, I was thinking maybe Shiny has an answer to why our Ethereum is not pumping. But while we do that, Tyler, what else? I mean, let's check in on our meme coins, right? Like, let's talk about the big news from yesterday. I mean, the big news from yesterday was, and still is today, if you ask me, that Pepe and WIF got Coinbase listings. I mean, how many times have we talked about this on the show and said, it's just imminent? Like, we're itching for it. It's going to happen. What happened? So Tyler, what do you make of all that? Like, this was a really big deal.
It was. So I think we've got a few important signals this past week. One, I think Doge pumping as soon as Bitcoin did after the Trump election was our ultimate signal that this is the meme coin super cycle. We're seeing levels that we really didn't know we were going to hit this fast. Next, we got the signal from Coinbase. The shackles are off. So within a week of the election, they've now listed 2 meme coins, Pepe first, and then WIF immediately after. I actually did I scouted some additional WIF after the Pepe listing because I thought I saw that last year they did Pepe and then a week later they did WIF. So I think a lot of people thought that, right? General consensus WIF was next. I didn't think it would be that fast. We got in, WIF jumped all the way to 480, but sold off really fast. And I've got and it's too soon to be 100% convinced of this, but I'm really starting to wonder if unit bias matters a whole lot more to the retail Robinhood and Coinbase traders, perhaps than it does to the on-chain traders. Because
I saw that narrative. Yeah, I saw OV push that narrative. Shiny, let's try you again. What do you think of all that? You've been in Pepe with me since a while.
Hello,
Shiny.
This is Shiny. Can you hear me?
Oh my God, we must be really back right now. Holy shit.
we never left, Farouk.
I love
well,
that.
Actually, I did. You didn't. It's great to be here. I saw this room going. I wanted to say hi. I wanted to send my love to you. I mean, you've been going every single day. You talked to the fucking president when I was gone. And it was incredible. All the moves you've been doing. I'm just very proud of you and all the accomplishments you've made over the last couple of years. And I always say bears are for building. And bulls are for showing what you've built. And now we have this opportunity in front of us. The meta is changing and the outside world is coming back in. And so what are you going to share with them? How are you going to approach them? And I think actually this logic is why ETH has been falling behind. The meta of ETH to the public has not really changed that much. You know, it has. Solana's changed a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
You have a lot of coins that have new excitement, that have new memes, that have new ways to interact with them. ETH still has its old tricks, you know, and I think that ETH builders were on a different timeline. I think that we'll see a lot of projects launch over the next year, 2 years that ETH builders have been working on because, you know, they weren't so concerned. They've been building for 8, 9, 10 years already almost. And so they're on their own timeline. They didn't realize, oh, there's going to be this bull here. But when you have a new chain, when you have a new project coming up and you want to actually have your voice be heard, you're rushing to build. And it just so happens that rush coincided with this new bull. And so now people are coming in and they're saying, oh, there's all these new things. They're just not really on ETH. Maybe the narrative will go back to ETH. I'm not sure yet. That's my 2 cents. But all in all, I'm very excited to see new people coming into crypto, new ways for those people to interact. I'm excited to be back here.
I love that.
And can't wait to share more conversations. Again, I think you've been doing an incredible job. It's great to see you and the whole room here. And that's it. Shiny out. Much love.
All right. Much love, Shiny. Appreciate you, brother.
I think he raises an interesting point, right? And it's kind of like a counter to your thought that, you know, ETH always follows Bitcoin. That's how it's always been.
The one that follows higher.
This cycle's different. Like, why does it have to follow the exact same rules? So I think if your whole logic on Ethereum pumping is because it always has,
that's a bad logic.
Yeah, you need a little bit more than that. And I think there is more. So like, there's still, you know, all the builders or majority of the builders are still on ETH, organization, all of that, but it's not as exciting.
It's ETH plus. It's ETH meaning Ethereum eco. Like when you and I talk ETH builders, we talk Ethereum like L1, L2, L3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But you know, I think that's what we mentioned. You're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, thankfully, I had a hunch and I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna come back to it later. Because I'd be down a lot right now, Tyler. A lot. So thankfully we decided to take a tiny baby L and just move on. And what I did yesterday is I ended up selling all the ETH longs. I shoved into WIF and then 30 minutes later got listed. That was euphoric. That was one of those moments, Tyler, in the bull market where I got off my chair, just screamed. I was worried my neighbors would have been like, what the fuck is going on in this household? But yeah, it was one of those days. I still believe though, like I think like we got to respect the pump. And I think that at some point the pump will come to Ethereum and there will be an aggressive $1,000, like there will be an aggressive $1,000, like 20% candle. I'll break the cycle high. And I will try to like time that at some point, but I'm not going to like wait when there's like, I don't know, Luce to name one, bag holder, just saying like, I'd rather cash, or for example, I actually bought a bunch of Pepe that I've decided to put in the wallet. I'm not looking until Basel or until Christmas because I think, okay, well now it's on there. It's doing insane volumes that you mentioned. and that. So let's actually go back to that. Let's talk about these volumes. Do you have the volume stats handy? I think Ovi posted some, but those are tough to. I don't like these as a reflection of the market on Coinbase, because WIF was listed for trading at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday.
Sure. So WIF had less time. Also wasn't on Robinhood. So Robinhood had Pepe. But I mean, Pepe put up massive numbers. It was 22 billion when I woke up this morning. The numbers are different now because it's a different 24-hour cycle. That was probably right when Coinbase listed it and Robinhood listed it and whatnot. But it flipped Doge and it jumped 60% on the day. Like, just a massive move. So you just talked about 20% candle on ETH being like a euphoric God candle. Well, we have memes printing those candles much more regularly right now. So people are going to go downstream. I think everyone's already wondering what's next. A lot of folks think that's MOG, right? And I mean, Pepe caught huge action. It ran up to 10 billion. It's down a bit. So I'm seeing it at 8.6 billion now.
Yeah, 8 point, around there.
MOG hit $1 billion. It bounced off of it. I think it's at what, like 900.
That was nice. I was very happy to do that. I didn't sell any of it here. I think I have a good coin there, but yeah, hit $1 billion. Classic double. It's the second time we hit $1 billion, and just
smack. I thought it was the cup and handle breakout, but maybe that's going to handle again.
We're not going to fade that one, right, Tyler? Like, we're not fading like our little cup and handles, right?
It's cup and handle season, folks.
It's cup and handle season over here, bro. Tyler and I are like all over those right now. We're just
you've been following MOG so closely, so it's trading basically at 10-1 Pepe right now.
10-1 Pepe, yeah.
It feels low.
From standpoint. Yeah, it does. I like MOG at like maybe 8-1, between 8-1 to 5-1 Pepe, but it's too hard to gouge that one like that. I just on Ethereum, I just don't know what else you're buying. The OGE for sure, obviously. Maybe that shrub one that went crazy, right? I don't have any of it, but there's very few things that have been built up for, like, I mean, look at this. Like, very few coins look like this, where like there was a year of consolidation and cult building until this, right? So I think this is always why this is going to be my favorite coin. I mean, it's my favorite coin. It's also like 1,000x my first entry, but I don't know. I also have a back bias for community bias. I'm very involved. I love those guys. I've become friends with all the big holders. Like, you know what I mean? It's like there's that. So that's also harder for me to I'm obviously like, sometimes like I'd look at it differently than you, for example, or most people, but I like it. I think it's strong, but there's something there too. Like, I'm not an idiot either, right? Like, I have a big position. I haven't sold much yet. Why? I think of it that way too. It's like, I think I'm not an idiot. Maybe some people think, but it's like, well, I still have that position. Oh,
let me come back to the unit bias just for a second. So I wrote it up in the newsletter this morning, but for $100 at this morning's prices, you could get 4.68 million Pepe tokens, or you could get 25 WIF tokens.
Let's talk about that. Is this in your page, or is that in your newsletter only?
It was in the newsletter. I mean, that's, we don't necessarily need to pull it up, but those are the numbers. And the concept is, do you want 4 million tokens for $100, or do you want 25 tokens? And if you're someone who doesn't know anything about either of these memes, but you just want exposure, you see it listed, meme coin super cycle, you're probably going to go for the one where you get 4 million tokens. Because what if it hits $1?
Yeah, I mean, that's the point Ovi raised this morning too, right? He said quite a big difference in volume between Pepe and WIF here, though. I'm going to wait until this next 24-hour cycle to like really gouge the volume thingy, right? And I may even wait until the weekend. But, he goes, MIO don't fit the unit bias. So I don't think he's wrong in that sense. Like, Dogecoin is still 4 cents, right? 40. And then WIF is 40 cents. Sorry. Dogecoin is 40 cents. WIF is $4. That's 10 times more than 40 cents. But it's not the case in the FDV. You know what I mean? It's like the mental gymnastics normies go through before buying some shit is like crazy, right?
It is. And there's no, and Doge, maybe Doge breaks the example, right? Because it is 40 cents. So it's not a great unit bias. It was at a point in time. Interestingly, so like I've seen Ansem and others calling for Pump Fund to change their tokenomics.
For what?
So to do like 100 times more tokens. So right now at $1 billion, you reach $1 to basically add a couple of decimals.
Let's see.
In front of that.
Okay. Smart. I get that. Well, listen, for me, there's something I said yesterday. A lot of people saying, when do we sell? Well, I think we haven't reached near the place where you should start, think about it. Then when there's only one meme coin in the top 10. So we'll see where that goes. I don't know what you think about that, but Shiba is not even top 10 yet. It's going to be probably like tomorrow. It's 11th. Pepe is 15th, and then you have to go all the way down to WIF 27. I know you've been talking about this quite a bit. Like, what do you think? At what point, like, do you think even Bonk, right? Bonk has been a big narrative because it's doing volumes 36th.
I just think it's silly to really start even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, if you think there's a legit chance that Bitcoin runs to 150K or higher, I would wait until closer to that.
Yeah. I strongly agree with you. Okay, cool. So what else? I mean, I think there was a big day yesterday for meme coins, right? Across the board, obvious reasons.
Yeah, maybe we could pull up the new Elon watch list.
Yeah, I have it. You sent it in the chat. So let's pull up the new list. I love these watch lists. I just have them all bookmarked. Let me bookmark this last one here. I check them like a couple times a day. It's so much easier. All right, we have a new. For those of you who are not here yet, we're on video. So I know a lot of you are listening on audio. So obviously we're translating the way that you don't have to watch. But if you're trying to watch, we're broadcasting live. So here you go. Here's your Elon watch list.
Shout out to Sammy again. He's on the Modern Market Show every morning. He put together this little index. I think he put $10,000 into this in like a market cap weighted format. So he's going to be tracking these. I saw his list. So Doge, the real Doge is a part of his index. I don't have it here just because it's not indexed, but I have all the other ones. So Peanut, number one by far, hit $2.2 billion yesterday. This thing just doesn't stop. Doge on ETH actually down. It hit 480, I think, around peak. It's down to 340, but Shrub just on a massive run. Shrub is someone launched this token because they launched a drone over like Elon's backyard, and I think they saw like a hedgehog carved into one of his bushes or something like that. There's one of the shrubs, so that's the story there. It's at 100 Elon's hedgehog. Yeah, this is what we have to talk about in November 2024. But there's big money in this. And then Banana was a big mover. Banana ran to like 60 million last night. It pulled back quite a bit this morning. And then there's another Doge on Solana as well that kind of rounds out the list. And then Grok, which is just the ticker of his XAI. Look at that. I mean,
no,
it ran up pretty high too. Oh wait, that's
the wrong one. There it is.
60 million.
Yeah. They're on a pretty hard. Yeah, this is absolutely insane. I mean, there's so much traffic on these things. Peanut. I mean, look at that. What, $2 billion.
And Peanut, maybe besides Bohm, Peanut now is like the biggest rocket we've seen.
It's the biggest rocket since Bohm for sure. Right? I saw D say the same thing, I think, on socials, but
you had to hold this thing for like 10 days to hit.
Bro, all we had to do was just wait a couple of days, bro. Like, it's like not like it's insane when you think about it. Like, the over trading is wild. You know what I mean?
I'm over trading. I'm very guilty. So I bought Peanut at 60 million, sold at 110. Thought it was a great trade. That would have been a 20x, no, 16x.
Dang.
Yeah. No, more than that. Yeah.
That's a classic though. It's just part of the game, right?
It is.
It's part of the game. It's part of the game. All right. So that's the Elon index. Let's look at our other indexes. I mean, the index that did really well yesterday was AI.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go at market cap. Go ACT. I mean, ACT is. Do you think ACT just follows like the peanut route? I think it's gonna flip GOAT.
ACT is the wild card. Mano tweeted out this morning. I thought it was funny. Like, does anyone know what ACT is yet? Like, I don't have the answer to that.
Well, yeah, it's the coin of the original people that did GOAT. No.
Is that the story here? I actually don't know the story, so I can't confirm or deny that. But it's got the Binance cabal behind it.
I mean, Andy, not like actually
right.
Like the GOAT dev.
I don't. Maybe.
No, maybe not.
I don't know that that's the story. It briefly flipped GOAT last night.
Interesting. New listing OKX now too.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll try to dive into that and get the deeper story behind it. But I mean, if you pull up the GOAT chart, GOAT looks like it's painting a bull flag.
How fun! How hilarious is this? We say GOAT once.
Am I listening on?
We say GOAT once.
Hold on.
We say the word. I'm not even kidding. We literally said GOAT once 5 seconds ago. You're my witness, right, Tyler? The 3,000 people listening to this live.
Yes.
We say goat once, and Mando just like
The whisperer.
he's just there. He's like, Duke. I hear it because I hear the studio when someone pops in the studio, Tyler. So I heard the noise. Dude, we literally used the word goat once on this show. We said, okay, let's talk AI meme coins, goat, and act, and then you showed up. Yeah, no. We can't hear you, but you're looking great, Mando. But we can't hear you. But you look great. You look like you're relaxing. You're good, Mando. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just telling you, we have a guest anyways coming on. I see you, George, in the stew. So we'll go to you in a few minutes, in a couple minutes here. Let me try Mando one more time. Hi there, we can hear you. Check, 1, 2. Try unmuting. Unmute on your end.
I can hear you guys now if you can hear me.
Let's go. So, Mando, what is ACT? I asked you that once. Remember back when my friend George said that you were following the account and then bought it because of that?
Yeah.
At like 20 mil.
So ACT isn't really an AI coin. Well, let's put it this way. It's not created by an agent. It's not been promoted by an agent. Act 1 is the name of the Discord server that Truth Terminal was in. You know how Truth Terminal was trained on 2 LLMs speaking to each other?
Mm-hmm.
That Discord server is called Act 1. Okay? So after GOAT was created, the dev of that Discord server, and I think somebody else as well, they just created this coin and they called it Act 1, and it's just an AI community coin. There's no agent attached to it. There's no shilling. There's nothing to do with it. It's just these guys created a coin, and it was because that dev said he was broke and he wanted to make some money. He then promptly sold the coin, right?
What?
And he's like kind of in a fight with this community now. He's like, I hated everything about it, all this sort of stuff. I forget if actually they sent it to him or he created it, but in somewhere or another, someone created a meme coin called Act 1, which wasn't related to any AI other than it was named after the original Discord server. The dev sold his supply.
This guy, yeah.
And then now we just have this coin called Act 1, which is named after that Discord server. And I think 0.0001% of people know what this thing is.
Right, like Tyler was saying, I have no clue what the fuck this is. And I'm like, well, you know what? I actually don't have an explanation either.
I type in Act 1 and it's just charts. There's very little.
This is the person. So he goes, I've never been uncomfortable with the ACT currency, and they have always been my branding without my permission. I distributed, burnt, or sold all of the ACT token that was given to me. I wish to be listed on no further centralized exchanges. And OKX listed this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this guy needed the money, he said, so he just sold. But he also, I guess he didn't create the coin then. I think community created the coin. After GOAT was created, right? They were like, oh, we'll create an Act 1 and we'll send it to this guy. And then he must have sold it.
He says he's very glad he sold the coin. I don't think he feels that way anymore today.
But go on to type in Act 1 community. Act 1 community. Surely that's, I think I
Act
saw
1
it.
or Act capital I?
Just find the actual the actual page for Act 1. I think it's called.
I got it.
Yeah.
It's at 16,000 followers. Not even that big.
Right. Scroll down. No, past this, obviously. It's just pictures of anime women.
I mean, that's all crypto bros like.
With just things being said. I don't really. This coin flipped Mog this morning. It hit $1 billion basically, and it just appears to be pictures of anime women.
Yeah, it's like waifu type content thingy. Okay, I get it.
It's now just called an AI community coin.
Okay.
Whatever that means, but there's there's nothing going on with the agents. There's no agent here. There's
no actual AI. Yeah.
It's like if somebody created a I don't know, describe it like a House of Farouk coin,
Yeah.
and sent you some of the coin and said, hey, this guy was early in NFTs, and then they've run it up.
Don't give people ideas, but if ever someone wants to do that, I will not burn them. I will keep them. I will not sell them. I will lock them on linear vesting. And then Binance, if you guys want to go ahead and send to $1 billion, Farouk is CC0.
That's basically what this is. It's like Farouk was there at the start of NFTs. Therefore, we're going to create a coin called House of Farouk. We're going to send him the coin. And then that guy has sold the coin. And this coin has run up to $1 billion.
Okay. Got it. All right. Well, that's interesting. Well, there you go, y'all. There you go. Well, my friend who had originally bought Act 1 because Mando followed the account. So this guy's deep in Mando's shit. Ended up selling it, and day after it went to $1 billion. So, so he 2x. He took his money, and then it went. I mean, nobody knew that, but the Binance thing kind of came out of left. Like it's like everybody. Like there was no reason to hold Act 1.
I have no idea why Act 1 got listed.
Yeah, neither do we.
18 million. It was 18 million.
I don't think anybody in crypto knows why. Well, we do.
All the AI coins, right? Like there are other coins which are like they are related to an agent. They were created by an agent, like Zero Bro, for example, would be close to that. Memes AI, AI16Z, like these are all like ingrained in AI agents doing things. This is not that. It's just pictures. It's like we're gonna create an AI coin, but hold their AI, hold the agents. And we're just going to do anime women.
Yeah. Okay. Well, clearly it worked. So clearly that went down as planned for them. Anyways, look, I know we have a lot of topics to go over, but we do have a guest in the studio from Walrus, Mr. Labs. I do want to make sure that we get to our guest and maybe like we do the, the robot spins and stuff after that, of course. So we'll get to that. The code is MOG. So if you go to rafflebot.xyz, raffle, RAFFLE, bots.xyz, you can go. And as usual, you'll be able to enter the yada, yada, yada. You usually have to retweet something for us. We got to get something out of it. And then we'll pick someone at the end of the show, which I think we'll go over today, over time. And then we'll get back to you and make sure that we give something away. And Tyler, hold tight on these news because we may have to like obviously discuss some of the NFC stuff and the meme coin stuff tomorrow, especially AI. There was just so much going on. But just quickly, there was a breaking news this morning on Bitcoin. I'm sure we'll cover it more tomorrow from Eleanor Terrett. They just came through actually 10 minutes ago. Today, the Pennsylvania House of Representatives introduced legislation that would enable the state to hold Bitcoin on its balance sheet as a reserve asset in a broader movement to recognize Bitcoin as a store of value.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why don't we get states battling to build bigger Bitcoin reserves before it gets approved by the...
Yeah, you have states before like federal trying to like build that Bitcoin reserve. So that happened. Price of Bitcoin on change on that. But definitely some people need to take some profits here. So don't blame him at all. But anyways, let's get George up here. Let's get George on the stream. There you go. George, what's up, man? How you doing? Good morning.
Hey, folks. How you doing?
We're good. We're
busy
good.
Week, huh?
Busy week for us, but busy week for you guys over there at Miston Labs. Jesus. You guys are like all over. You guys are killing it.
We're trying. We're keeping busy indeed.
Yeah, absolutely love to see that. So, George, you're chief scientist at Miston Labs. Obviously, you're helping on all things Sui Network and Walrus here. Do you want to give us a little introduction of yourself and like what you do within the Miston Labs ecosystem, and even explain to people what Miston Labs is, because Miston Labs is like big deal here. Like y'all should go check the website and see what's going on with Miston.
Sure. Yeah. So, the chief scientist of Miston Labs. There are 5 co-founders. I'm kind of like the more researchy one, if you want, right? My background has been in basically building peer-to-peer systems in the broader sense, like for 20 years now. Like the other co-founders, I was part of the whole Libra effort at Facebook until it got nowhere, and then we kind of jumped off and started Miston Labs. And the whole point of Miston Labs is basically saying, look, the internet, wonderful thing, we love it, but it wasn't really built, with a kind of resiliency, with a kind of primitives to support the exchange of value and all of that, right? So what do we need to build over the internet, over modern telecommunications to be able to exchange value and also give people ownership of their assets and kind of be able to build whole application stacks that are kind of decentralized and give people control of their lives, their digital assets, their digital identities, etc., right? So indeed, we started off, if you want, on that path by initiating the SWE network, which folks may know here. That is, really acting as a kind of like accounting and coordination layer. It has smart contracts and all of that, right? And it works fine. We're really happy with it. We're still working very actively on projects on it and all that. But as we started basically getting more interest from applications, we're like, okay, how do you store the data of that application?
Exactly.
I'm talking here about the bulk data, right? And this is what led us to initiate the Walrus project to actually have a decentralized storage network as well.
Yeah. So as a matter of fact, for those of you who didn't know, because you're probably like more of Rock Radio listeners, but on the Decrypt side, which is the other brand that we have part of our umbrella company, we actually partnered with Walrus, and so all of the articles of Decrypt are actually stored on this protocol, which is really cool. That's something that Elon, co-founder of Decrypt, worked on, and I thought it was super cool to get started with you guys over at Miston, and it's been really fun. So what's the connection then between Walrus and SUI? Because obviously both of them come out of Miston Labs. Congratulations on the success with SUI thus far the cycle. But what's the connection there?
Sure. Yeah. So the way I think about it is that SUI is the magic sauce behind Walrus, and also Walrus is the kind of like example of the kind of vision we have for applications that could be built on SUI, right? So as I mentioned, Walrus is doing something quite different from SUI. It is storing bigger chunks of data, right? Like on SUI, you can store a few 100 kilobytes, you'll struggle there to go much beyond that. Some people tried and that's quite impressive, but 100 kilobytes is really what you get on SUI. On Walrus, you're able to store many megabytes to hundreds of megabytes to gigabytes of data, right? So it's an infrastructure that is basically designed to store data. But that infrastructure is coordinated in pretty much every way on SUI, right? On a SUI smart contract. So all the economics of the Walrus storage nodes, all the governance, all of the management, the storage as a resource, all of that stuff is happening on SUI, right? So effectively, Walrus is using SUI as a control layer, right, in order to coordinate that other, storage infrastructure, right? So we were able to build Walrus quite quickly because we could leverage SUI as a control layer, if you want, for Walrus. But also, Walrus really demonstrates that SUI can be used as a control layer for other kind of decentralized infrastructures. And there, like, your imagination is really the limit, right? I mean, there are many things we want to decentralize. SUI can be used to help with that.
Interesting. Okay, this is very smart. I like the setup actually, because I always wonder as well, like in the back, because when I heard we were working with Walrus, I was like, well, what's Walrus? Oh, it's the Miston Labs, but we don't have SUI. And then I found out that it's like similar, but like it's to help support that network, right? In order to be able to partner with people such as ourselves. So it's really smart. So besides Decrypt, if I'm not mistaken, like you guys have partnerships like Accord, which is kind of like a Dropbox, and a bunch of other people on the Walrus side, right?
Yeah, sure. So Decrypt is a really nice use case, right, for a decentralized store, because it's a media organization, so it needs to make sure that its articles stay up, and they are the articles that you wanted to publish, right? So a decentralized store with high integrity, high availability is exactly what you want for this kind of journalistic use cases.
Of course.
Accord is a slightly different use cases. These folks are building basically a Dropbox equivalent, right? So you store your own data, you can share it with your friends, but of course you only want to share it with the people you want to share it. So they support encryption, identity, permissions, and all of that stuff, right? So they add those kind of layers on top of Walrus. And again, both use cases kind of illustrate that Walrus is part of basically an application development ecosystem. Like you can build apps on top of SUI and Walrus now and host your websites on Walrus, your front ends, your dApps. You can use it for for archival. You can use it for all of these things to build your own stuff.
Okay, wow. Okay, this is super cool. I love that. Tyler, do you wanna ask a question?
Yeah, George, I'm curious how Walrus compares to other competitors in the decentralized storage, data availability space, like IPFS, Filecoin, Celestia. You've kind of compared to contrast to SUI, but I'm curious how you compare and contrast to other peer competitors.
Sure, yeah. So, I mean, Walrus is basically embodying the same vision of decentralized storage to some extent. Lots of pioneers were there before us, right? We didn't invent the concept, but it's a modern take on it. That's the way I would think about it, right? So IPFS is part of a more kind of like traditional peer-to-peer storage kind of story. There aren't really incentives and all of that stuff integrated into it. So that is basically the very traditional space of like peer-to-peer storage. There are problems there, right? Because, storing is work. How do you get paid for that work is a bit external. Then if you want, Filecoin is, the next generation. It integrates a blockchain, but it's a kind of like, 2016, 2017 view of what a blockchain is, right? It's kind of longest chain, very long latencies and all of that stuff. Great vision, by the way. Like, I'm a great fan, I have to say, otherwise I wouldn't be working on this kind of field, right? But it's not like a modern smart contract platform that is very quick, cheap, and very flexible as well. On the other side, Celestia is actually a very cool and modern take by, a colleague of mine, Mustafa, right? And they really specialize on and they do very well a very narrow thing, which is just availability for a short amount of time. Nowadays, they're extending that, right? So again, it covers a small amount of space. What we try to do when designing Walrus is cover all of that and using a modern blockchain. So it's fast, sub-second latencies for metadata, a few seconds to upload. It supports like bulk download, like, you can get, many megabits of basically download speed, but also it integrates with a modern smart contract platform suite to do really complex things between storage and, if you want, finance. Like, you can basically express things like derivatives around, how much storage will cost in the future. You can buy and manage your portfolio of storage and the life cycle of your blobs. You can very carefully and very in a fine-grained way manage how you extend the lifetime, or you delete your blobs, or how you manage them at all, right? And also all the governance is happening on the Sweet blockchain. So that lowers the cost of coordination. It allows us to have thousands of storage nodes. And generally speaking, it hits a much sweeter spot between like reliability and the cost of getting that reliability, which should mean that it should be cheaper in the long run.
Okay, I see. Damn, you guys cooking. It's crazy. It's crazy. See, y'all, there's more meme coins in crypto. Okay. So a lot of people, we're talking a lot about meme coins, NFTs, all these different things on the show, and now we're talking about data storage on chain. There you go. There you have it. The same people that started SUI Network, that the one that you guys are all talking about. So absolutely love to see that. Okay, so what are some of the use cases, right, for Walrus, and like what kind of projects? So let's say there's a lot of founders listen to us every morning. George, there's a lot of them here. There's thousands of people listening to the show. How does a founder actually like fit into this whole picture here?
Sure. I mean, Walrus is very general, right? So anytime you need storage and you feel uncomfortable about, just using a centralized entity, Walrus is the play you should go for, right? So what can you use it for? First of all, if you're building dApps, and you want actually their front end, like the website in front of the dApp that drives a smart contract to be in a decentralized store, well, Walrus and Walrus sites that actually present your resources on Walrus as a website is your go-to solution. We can support that. If on the other side you're more into infrastructure, you have a chain that you like, or an L2 or whatever, and you're like, where do I put all my history, right? Like, what if my history disappears and no one can audit what I'm going to do? Well, Walrus basically can help you there. If on the other side you have an L2 and you're like, okay, when I commit blocks on Ethereum, let's say, and I want to prove their availability just to make sure that my fraud proofs can be checked, etc. Again, Walrus basically is your go-to call. And then even if you are not kind of like into crypto, but you want to make more of kind of a Web2 thing, but you want to give your users a sense that the data they upload to your service belongs to them, right? Like the photos, the videos, the stuff. Like if your service goes down, the data is still there. If you go out of business, the data is there. If you get like, you know, coerced to like not serve them anymore, well, they can get back the data. Again, Walrus is basically your go-to solution for that. And you can use it either in conjunction with Sui, or you can use it without really touching Sui. You can just basically upload blobs, download blobs using the web, and you know everything just works.
This is nice. I like the feel and brand of it all. Sorry, I'm like a nerd when it comes to this shit, but I just kind of like the website. You know what I mean? It just looks really clean. So for anyone who's curious, I don't have more questions for you, George, but for anybody who's curious, like just go on walrus.xyz or come on video. I'm like showing the video right now. You can learn more about the storage filing, you know, and the fast storage, and like the data sets, websites, blockchain history, like everything. That's that worldwide walrus. I like that. Worldwide walrus. That's great. But definitely check it out because there's a lot of really interesting things going on there that George is leading, of course. And then last question for you, George, would be like, you know, roadmap wise, you know, would love to hear like future, you know, potential integrations, partnerships, community driven developments. Like what's going on that front?
Yeah, I mean, we're at the beginning of this journey. The testnet just was announced a couple of weeks ago. I would love if folks use it. Like pretty much most of the features that will go out on mainnet are already there. We're just making it solid and onboarding, you know, storage nodes at this point. So folks who are interested can also reach out on that. More kind of high profile partnerships, TBD, right? We'll you know, our plan is to go to mainnet sometime in the first half of 25, right? Between now and then, probably we will also be chatting with people and seeing, you know, who's interested in using it, right?
I love that. I love that. So for anybody interested, how do they reach out to you? Do you want? Is there like a place where like people can get involved with you?
Yeah, sure. On the website you're on, there is a Discord link at the very bottom, and I invite folks to join and just jump on the channels that are relevant and say hi, basically.
I love that. Definitely get involved. You guys are like, it's crazy. You guys are doing a lot, man, and it's doing really well too. So the engagement we got from like you posting, I was like, hell yeah, these guys are actually active. I love that. There's a lot going on.
Everybody needs to store stuff, you know.
Every company has to store something. You know what I mean? Like it's not like everyone. It made perfect sense for us on the Decrypt side that every single article is forever going to be stored somewhere. So you can't ever take it away from us in a way, right? It's going to exist forever. So I love that narrative. I think it's great. I'm really happy that we've partnered together, not only for this here, but also for on the Decrypt side. And I'm really excited to be able to do more stuff with Mistin Labs in general. So George, thank you so much for coming here today. Appreciate you
for having me.
All right, brother. Have a good one. Thank you. All right. I think, dude, honestly, the Sui's like everywhere, guys. Like, man, you've been talking about this for a minute, but like, I'm pretty sure like Real Vision are working with Walrus. Pretty sure we are. I mean, I'm pretty sure we are. I know we are for like 100%. Like, they're like really like between Walrus and the Sui network itself. Just cooking. Love to see that. There's definitely going to be a lot going on there. All right. Well, Tyler, did you want to take 2-3 minutes to go over some things that I didn't go over? And then we can pick a winner? Or is there stuff that we can just push it over tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll quickly hit the Doodles news. I think this is the biggest one that we didn't cover yet.
Okay.
So we got the details on the Doodles partnership with McDonald's. So it's starting with 100 million limited edition McCafe Doodles holiday cups. So if you order coffee at McDonald's here this holiday season, starting November 18th, you probably will get this Doodles cup. I'm definitely going to go get one of these.
Is it only in the States, Tyler? Because I really like it.
That's a good question. Yes, it's across the U.S. So this is just the States. You're going to have to make a border trip here. Pop down, get to a McDonald's, get a Doodles cup. But it's just starting there. They have a lot more in the works.
I'm telling you, Happy Meal. I'll make a call right now. I don't know. Like, I'm homies with those guys. I didn't ask them shit. I'm telling you, bro. That would be sick.
I don't know if the Happy Meals are coming. I hope there is. But there's studio experiences, the Doodle Studio, that you can get with an in-app drink order. They've got digital wearables that can be unlocked. A pass to watch their latest movie, the Doodlesville and the Doodlesverse. They've got new music coming from this. So that's where Pharrell comes in, along with an animated holiday short. And now it looks like they've got some merch rolling out. I just saw D's tweet out a picture of a
D's.
t-shirt. Yeah, D's.
All right. Julian, if you're listening, Julian, not only should you get involved with our House Basel event, but you should also bring me some of that merch.
I want some of this Doodles merch. This
I got you,
Doodles
brother.
merch is sweet.
Yeah. This is cool. Everything you need to know about the McDonald's X Doodles collab from Guillaume. Oh, remember that guy got hacked and they sell the shitcoin? They launched a pump fund.
I don't remember that.
That was him. Remember the pump fund that was launched by Seed Market at McDonald's?
I believe you, but
They hacked his account, and that's why I don't follow them. Actually, let me see. Wow, this is big, dude. Oh,
this is about as big as it gets, I think, for an NFT project, right? I think you can argue what's bigger, this or Walmart. It's silly to kind of have the argument. This is tier one.
Yeah, they're both tier one, S tier, like type partnerships. Jesus Christ. Oh, wearables. It's true. They have the whole digital apparel. Look at that.
Oh, the fry hat. That's good.
Dude, actually, if this was real, I'd buy this. It's a fire jacket. The McDonald's logos and shit. Oh, the pants. Jeez. Are you guys going to make these happen for real? Yo, McDonald's guy should come on the show. We should invite Guillaume on the show.
And that would be an epic interview.
He sounds French. Surely he's French. I'm going to DM him. He follows me after the show. I'll DM him after the show. So that was the big news. All right. Well, then let's pick a winner. Sims, shall we? Code was MOG today. M-O-G. M-O-G. That's the code.
How did you get away with a MOG code for today? When Pepe hits 10 billion.
I didn't do the code.
It wasn't me.
MOG in there.
It wasn't
unbelievable.
Blame Sim. I agree with you. Right?
Hey, look. I know. Look, it just Tyler's been on it for a week, so I thought, why not?
Actually, Tyler capitulated today on the show, Mando.
Did he? In Pepe?
He finally stopped talking shit about MOG and gave it its credit it deserves.
Because of its unit bias.
I did see someone pick on you, Tyler, for no tweet this morning.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious.
And it was a triple kill because it was you, Clemente, and Beast, ICO.
Yeah.
So it was like, and you guys all got
that's
head.
That's an easy crew to dunk on right there for sure.
I didn't want to pick on you more because you're my co-host. So I'm gonna stand with my co-host, even though same thing. I have a big whiff bag, and a whiff holder was dunking on Ovi, and I was like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like, some guy was coming at Ovi saying that he fumbled his bag when Ovi arguably pulled out one of the biggest public trades this cycle. All right. Let's pick a winner, but tomorrow the code's got to be Pepe, right? All right. Good boy! I love this song. Good choice. Congratulations to one. Yeah, his name is Good Choice. Good choice. Good choice. The one in the name.
What's that NFT called again?
Philip,
They had that guy that got cancelled. The lead dev got cancelled for being
this guy. A kid called Beast. A kid called Beast. It's in his bio. Good choice. Where you at? Request to speak, brother. You won. And you did the retweet like we asked. And you retweet and you're active. Good choice. Come on, brother. Oh, there he is. So good choice. Coffee and X. Good karma. Let's build. Kid called Beast. Quirky. Space Riders. What's up? Good choice.
No way, guys. How's it going?
Dude, congratulations. You want to roll the big box?
Good morning.
All right. Hey, good choice. Are you ready?
Oh, of course.
All right.
Do it.
Well, there's 100% win rate on the show. Yeah, that's how the loot boxes are. Red guys are now $2,500, $2,000 floor. That's minimum $2K we're giving away now on the show. You have a chance to win a red guy, a Sproto, I'm a lady, or a crypto paw. Good choice. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. And spin. Go, 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 go. Wait. Oh, so close. Close in my, I mean, you still would have red guy. Congratulations. Good choice. Have you guys ever seen it this close? Did you watch on video? Good choice.
Yeah. So
That was so close to a milady. Oh my God. Congratulations, though. You win a $2,000 red guy.
thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Dude, guys, that was crazy. That was like, and it just stopped. It was like, not today. I have to say, though, the spins have been very generous lately. Like, if you look at our new loot box, it's like
the wheels stop.
I think Rollbit is like deep red on that new. I mean, they'll be fine. I'm not worried. But yeah, in the new loot box, we've spent 105K and we've given away 158, but we still give away 158 because Rollbit pays foots the bill and all that. And then on the old thing, we've given 950 and spent 987. So technically, Rollbit would have made, but we still gave away all that money. So we're nearing. I think we just hit 1.2 mil. So that's not bad. That's not bad. And with that, we'll see y'all tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the episode of FOMO Hour on Rug Radio. Let's go.